welcome to our third and final week of registration. Tonight we're going to go ahead and do our regular vocal warm-ups, get our voice moving a little bit, and then we're going to have a little discussion about vocal health. Our first exercise will sound like this. Go ahead and join me. Good. Now there's two things. The first one is for purposes of playing the piano, I'm sitting down. But for you in your home, I would encourage you to stand up. That way you can have some nice, good posture, and you can also get a nice low diaphragmatic breath, okay? The second thing that I would like to put forth is that during the vocal exercises, if by chance the notes go too high or if they go too low, just simply drop out on those notes that are uncomfortable. And then when they do feel comfortable again, join us, okay? Our second exercise for this evening, ma, I'll do that one more time. Ma, this time join me. Ma, Our next exercise. Do it one more time. Join me. Last one. Good. And our final one for this evening. This is what it will sound like. Ma, ha, 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 ha. Deep breath. Join me. Ma, ha, 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 ha. 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 Last one. Good. Now for tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about vocal health. And throughout the years, there have been several topics where several instances that have come up. Usually with students, they come up to me and say, I'm having difficulties with. And these are usually the four things that they say to me. I'm having difficulties with my allergies. We live in Florida. It is a very Tallahassee allergy-filled place. So there are ways to deal with these allergies. A lot of them are over-the-counter medications. Some are prescription medications. Sometimes singers find relief by using a neti pot where they can get some of those allergens out of their nose. And that's a little pot where you bend your head over the sink and you pour water through one nostril and it comes out and around the other. Admittedly, some singers are not very fond of that option, but it has been very successful for others. Now, if you do decide to go for the medication route, I would give you a little bit of caution that usually these antihistamines are dehydrating. They will dry you out, and it's important to drink extra water. Make sure that you keep a nice lubricated throat, lubricated vocal folds in order to have them function properly. Doesn't mean that you can't take the medication. In fact, you'll feel much better with the medication, but you want to make sure that you counteract with water, some of those dehydrating effects. The second thing that I have heard my students and my singers talk to me about is GERD, or gastroesophageal reflux disease. Now, for those of you who might not know what this is, it is the stomach acid working its way up your esophagus into your throat. Most of the time, people will complain about this at night. They have heartburn. Sometimes they'll wake up in the night with heartburn, or they will notice that they have a bad taste in their mouth when they wake up. If you get to that point, then you probably have been dealing with this for a little bit of time. Some people don't feel that heartburn. It's a very telltale sign, but some people don't feel it. They might just notice a little tickle in the back of their throat, or when they get up, their voice feels hoarse and it feels dry. They might notice as they're talking throughout the day, their voice gets tired, is not able to talk as long without having difficulties. Now, what this acid does in your stomach, it slowly works its way up your esophagus, and then it just kind of sits there. Sometimes it will go up into your mouth, and this happens at night usually because you're laying down, you're laying flat, and because gravity is no longer helping to keep it down, it travels up. If you have a really, really, really bad case, some people even have difficulties with their teeth, with getting cavities, or with other issues regarding dental work. So if by chance you do notice you have this heartburn, if you notice that you have difficulty singing those higher notes that you used to have no troubles with, then you might want to think about different lifestyle changes to see if that can help. And by lifestyle changes, I mean avoiding an acidic diet, tomatoes, pineapple, citrus fruits, things that are very acidic, especially before you go to bed at night. Chocolate can also aggravate GERD. One thing you can also do at night is the head of your bed, go ahead and raise that just a little bit, so that instead of being flat, if you put a couple blocks underneath the headboard of your bed and you're inclined, then even just that little bit helps that stomach acid from working its way up. Another thing that you can do, if this is something that you wish to do, there are over-the-counter or prescription medications that will help reduce the amount of stomach acid that is being made in your stomach. Of course, for this, you would want to go talk to your physician, make sure that it really is gastroesophageal reflux disease that you are experiencing, and go with his guidance or her guidance of what they feel is the best plan of action. Okay? The third thing that singers have come up and talked to me about are hormonal imbalances. Issues with the thyroid can cause problems when you're singing. Your menstrual cycle, menopause, and also pregnancy. It's important to remember that because our voice is inside of our body, anything that happens to our body, any sort of medications that we are taking, and any sort of side effects of those medications will also affect our voice. And because of the hormonal imbalances, it will affect whether you can sing those high notes or all of a sudden you have really great low notes. Sometimes singers will discuss that their stamina is not as strong as it had been. They feel as though their voice gets tired. If this is the case, you do want to go to your physician and talk to your doctor and see what can be done. These are all manageable things while we are singing. And the fourth issue would be issues from vocal misuse or vocal abuse. And for those of us who are professional voice users, ministers, teachers, lawyers, radio personnel, For those of us who use our voice on a continuous basis, many times we develop habits that we don't even realize we've picked up that are not as efficient and vocally healthy as they should be. If this is the case, then over time, over an extended period of time, then we can have nodules form. There are several other vocal issues that can form. And if this is the case, it is not a death sentence. What you would want to do is go to a specific doctor, an otolaryngologist. Many people refer to them as ENTs, ear, nose, and throat doctor, and talk with them. By having a specific vocal therapy plan through your physician, they might even send you to a speech pathologist. There are ways that you can reduce and eliminate these things, many times without surgery, that will get you back singing again and healthily this time. And it's important to know that in the process of this vocal therapy regimen, you will learn what small habits work their way into your speech patterns or into your lifestyle that caused this over an extended period of time, so that then once you have rehabilitated your voice, then you can start implementing new, healthier habits so that this doesn't happen again. Okay, so these are the 4 main areas that I've had students and singers come to me and say, Dr. Leslie, I was wondering if you knew about, and then they would go forth with something. So above all, sometimes after we've sung for a long period of time, we might notice that our voice is tired. That's normal. The thing you want to look out for, does this tiredness become persistent? Is it chronic? If it does become persistent and chronic, that's when you want to go talk to a physician and make sure that it's just tired and not anything more serious. And if it is something more serious, like allergies, hormonal imbalances, GERD, or some vocal misuse, know that there are options for you to get you back to singing and enjoying every single bit of it again. Okay? Now, before I sign off, I do want to say, please keep an eye out in your email. There will be an email coming out with specifics for our first week of official rehearsal with the actual virtual online. Todd Hinkle will be sending that out to you in the near future. So, again, thank you for coming for our 3rd week of registration. I look forward to virtually seeing everyone in a week, and have a good evening. Bye.